Hello, everybody. It is your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. As I always tell y'all, come on in the room. Let's see what we can get popping. So, how is everyone? A little bit out of sorts. I guess you can see that from my background. I'm not in my normal space. So, I'm having to configure everything to see how to get it set up. I kind of like this space. I do. And I'm praying that the Wi Fi will afford me to continue to be here with you all for the duration. Our internet for some reason gets kind of wonky when we move about the apartment. I don't understand that. I think as long as we have the modem in the apartment, it should work. But once we leave our respective rooms, then it tries to connect to everybody else's Wi Fi in the apartment building. Mind you, I said once we leave our rooms, not the apartment. So once we come out into the hallway, it's a meh, hit or miss. I know you're like, Kitty, what are you doing? Well, I kind of hinted on it on Thursday. First of all, thank you, Joan. Thank you. Thank you. I got my phone call from Joan today, y'all. And without even saying it, it was kind of her way of get it together. And I accept that. I accept that. She understood where I was, and I know and I appreciate that. Hi, Joan. I'm talking about you. Is your nose itching? Your ears burning? But yeah, she's one of those who. And then this morning, guys, I got to tell you, I love it when we give each other love. I do, and I love you too, Joan. I do. Um, I turned on the TV because I've been turning it off here lately so I could get some sleep. And you all, I have been having horrifying dreams. So I think after I go to bed in the morning, and we'll explain that as we go along. I think as I go to bed in the morning, I will go back to leaving my TV on, find something that's going to generate noise and leave it on, and go back to going to sleep that way. Because the dreams that I've had, I've been running from demons, I've been running from people, I've been trying to explain myself when stuff really didn't need to be explained, and it's been a horror. So you're right, not news. No, I usually turn mine on to like the lawn cutting services or uh the sounds of the ocean, the Amazon noises, those types of noises. I turn on the black screen so that it's just total darkness in the room, and I just listen to those sounds until I go to sleep. But when I turned the TV on this morning and I was going through my recommended row, and I saw Lori's Lori of Lori's Stories and Crochet pop up. You all, she sent a shout out to me and it made my cheeks rosy. Pebbles! Oh, so glad to see you. But yes, it just made me all sorts of happy. Um, Now that I look up and I see we have more in the room, I will welcome everyone once again. I am your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia. And yes, I am sitting here crocheting with a different background. This is not my setup office space. I can tell you our ring light has finally gone kaput. So I am in our open concept kitchen, living room, dining room area. You know what? Sometimes, fellas, I don't think I need a TV in my because sometimes that's the reason I don't get sleep. Especially if something interesting is on. Oh my goodness. I will get caught up real quick. And that's what usually ends up happening on the weekends when I'm looking for my video star of the week. What happens is like generally last night would have been the night that I would have gone through and just flipping through channels and seeing what new content creator pops up on my recommended line. And then I'd look at them. If they caught my interest, I would stay. But then I'd drop down to the people they are subscribed to. And I would go through that list and see, what jumped out at me. And from there, I might find one. If not, I have a list. I have a list that I go through, but what I want is fresh and new. And then when nothing pops up fresh and new, nothing like really bites out at me or grabs out at me, then I go by my list and I go back and make sure I get all the bells and whistles on that person that I am privy to. And that's what I go by. But other than that, everything is all fresh and new. The one for this week, the Posh Paper Lady, she was brand new. When she popped up and I saw the first thing that she made, I was like, oh, are you kidding me? So that leads me to the first thing that I want to show you. She inspired me so much, turning regular cardboard and sheets of paper into little different compartments and notebooks and stationery, all kinds of stuff. So I was like, I have this container, and I've been meaning to show you all this container forever. This is what I keep my washcloths in. This was made this morning. So what I usually do is fold my washcloths over and I roll them up and I just stick them in. So it looks like a whole flower of washcloths when you finish. I usually get maybe 20 in that way. And then I'll lay about 10 on top. And then I get another bin, an empty one, and do the same thing. So I end up with like 30 per bin. But what I wanted to do when I saw that was, y'all, I know I don't have 1,000, but I have at least 100 crochet hooks, all sizes. Most of them boy hook or following the boy concept. I just recently got hooked back into the Susan Bates. Oh, I did not like it before. And it really does matter what yarn you're using, where you are in your crochet journey. There's so much that changes. So do you need more than one hook? Yes. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Just because you found something that works for you right now, do not get rid of what you have already, because it's going to come a time that you get frustrated with this newness that you found, and you're going to want to throw it across the room, and you're going to be like, oh, my old 5.5. Let me try. And it's going to work. And it's going to work for a while. And then you're going to hit another stump. It's just like life. It's what happens to us in life. We change, we evolve. And sometimes evolving means regressing. It means going back to something that we know to create something better. So hence, keep your crochet hooks. Well, what I wanted to do was create compartments in here and size up my crochet hooks. But then I thought about it. After I was so gung-ho about doing it, I was like, there would be so much empty space. I don't want to sit the hooks up. I want to lay them down. So then I thought about the possibility of standing them up. But what else am I going to stand? It's not like I have 20 of each size. I do go as small as a B and I go as high as an N. I used to have a P hook. Maybe you can tell me what happened to it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the P hook. Hi, Abby. But we all know that, especially when we start moving things about and from one place to another, sometimes things will slip out of packages, or we have a box over here for throwaway, a box over here for keep, and somewhere in the process we get confused and switch them. So things happen, and it's not like it was a part of my life that was thrown away. It was a hook. It was a hook. And when the time comes for me to get one back, I will. Now, that part is done. Uh, the subscriber number has gone up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm tickled pink. I know my cheeks are probably like tinged red right now. That's because I'm tickled and I'm thankful. Um, I do ask that, you enjoy yourselves. I hope that I say something that makes you come back, that first of all convinces you to stay and helps you to come back. If you're not subscribed, then please do so. Make sure you hit that notification bell that has the dimples so that you'll always know when I'm dropping fresh new content. Maybe put washcloth in soap sack with a face scrubbing. That is one of my ideas. I got something coming up that I want to tell you about. And I know that my kids are going to so totally go against it, but it's on my heart to do it. And it's going to involve a lot of crocheting. And if anybody wants to help out, they're welcome. I'm not trying to brown nose anybody or anything. It's something that crossed my mind before. And it's just like a little way of saying welcome. Our apartments were brand new when we moved in. We are the only occupants of this apartment. Granted, my daughter and I are looking for somewhere else to go, but we know that it's probably not going to happen right now. We're looking at the possibility of it happening maybe the end of next year. But in the process, what I would like to do, there are 120 units out here. It's a small apartment complex. So what I wanted to do was make, in the room, what I wanted to do was make 119 throws, blankets, just something small. I also wanted to do the washcloth set. I didn't know exactly, how to do it, as people have a lot of allergies and things. But at the same time, knowing that I have a lot of allergies, when I'm gifted soaps and things, I use them to scent my bathroom. I'm not allergic to the smell. I'm just allergic to the chemicals that are in it. And sometimes they smell so good and so pretty. So I was looking at, quite possibly, um, a bag that would hold a small blanket, a washcloth, and a soap thing. When we first moved out here, they gave you a gift pack, which was it was one free wash and dry, as the washer dryers were $1.50 each. So you got a little $3 token. They gave you a pack of, or one little pouch of Tide and one little pouch of Cascade for the dishwashers. If you've heard our story, our dishwasher has hardly ever worked. It has leaked ever since we had it brand new. So for the past 2 years at least, they've been promising us a part that goes to it. And my thing is, if over 2 years, you can replace the dishwasher. Instead of waiting for this piece that you claimed you can't find anywhere, by now you could have taken the dishwasher out and replaced it. It's not like we don't pay our rent. We're still here. Obviously, we pay our rent. And the problem with the dishwasher, the water has to be on. So what happens is it causes a leak as long as the water's on because one of the seals is broken. And instead of it being a rubber seal, it's kind of plastic. So we're paying extra in a water bill, but we're still here. We're not getting late charges on anything, you know. And so I think we've paid for a dishwasher by now. I do. And then there are other things that they've not addressed, like the light in the freezer. One of these lights here right above the bar had gone out recently, and the maintenance man snapped at my daughter and told her, go to the store and buy one and put it in yourself. So, yeah, we have since found out why, he's so touchy, but it doesn't involve us. So it shouldn't be taken out on us. But life is life and it happens. But even with that, it is on my heart to put a care package on each person's door, and however many they can decide who gets the blanket, who gets the washcloth, who gets the bag. That's just something that I wanted to do just a little because I sit here and I crochet so much and I love making blankets. I really do love making blankets. Um, so, like I said, if anyone wanted to help with that, um, donations of yarn, anything, that would be greatly appreciated. But right now, I'm using my yarn stash, and that's what I'm doing. I've decided to put everything kind of to the back as far as things that I'm working on or things that I want to work on. Things that I'm working on, I'm slowly getting them done. Segue into something else. Well, not quite. What I can show you what I am doing as far as using scrap yarn like this. I'm doing the Malaminute strips, and this is one. And I figure if I do, when I'm not working on something else, maybe 2 to 3 strips a day, that would help. This is the one I'm currently working on. So that's what I'm working on there. Now, how did that segue into, well, I said makes. I told you all that once a week I was going to continue to do the 24-hour challenge. Well, I tweaked it. And y'all know I got notes. I have notes. All right, 24-hour challenge revised into 2 parts. Can I stay awake 24 hours? Yes, have done it. Probably will do it a lot. Then the question becomes, can I crochet for 24 hours straight? Realistically, no. I actually have adulting and human things to do, like the 2 little munchkins that keep popping their head out over here. I have them to take care of daily, which involves feeding, making sure they get their baths, going outside every now and then, running back and forth to the store. So this year I'm thinking a jar opener. Oh, she's showing with a crochet border. Cool. Cool. Awesome. That sounds cool, Peps. That sounds so cool. In case anyone missed it, I will say it. At Christmas, I put something on everyone's door here. This year, I'm thinking a jar opener. Dollar Tree. I can't see that word. Dollar Tree is something for shelving with a crochet. Dollar Tree rubber shelving with a crochet border. That is cool. That is so cool. Okay, so what I thought about was last week I completely broke myself down. I did. I don't know if it was the thought of a 24-hour challenge or this week I just kind of snuck into it. All of this started at 9 o'clock this morning. I don't like what it at. Well, I actually got up at 8, but I got up and did everything that I needed to do before starting the challenge. And what I did was computed everything that I did last week. I actually spent about 10 hours crocheting, and the rest of the time was adulting, doing the things that I had to do. So that was cool. Um, this morning, I completed this washcloth. This morning, I also completed what you all have not seen in a while. All I have to do is sew in a tail. This is my son's blanket, y'all. This is how it ended up. I was going to add the gray and the black, and I was like, I really don't want to see those drab colors. I wanted something appealing. And when I showed this to my son, the gasp said it for me. He was like, Mama. And I was like, that's it. That did it. That right there lets me know that that's his. So y'all see it was done. Like I told you, I would be working on things. Thank you. You picked it up for me. See, there's a reason I have my minions. I know. I know. And then my daughter was talking about bordering it with granny squares. I'd have been crazy. God bless you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I would have been absolute crazy by now. So this is what I am working on. So far, we have 9 squares, and we have 7 squares started over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what we're going to do with these 7 squares is attach them to this and make a nice little throw. And that will reduce this buggy that was full of yarn. See where we are? Let me put that, yep. We have about a third of what was full left. So as far as the cotton is concerned, that's all we have left. Turn it this way so the cones won't fall. And I threw this in here. It's not cotton. So I really only have 4. I have the 2 cones and the 2 balls. And I'm happy with that. I am. I'm really, really, really happy with that. That showed progress. The mission today is to empty the worsted weight container, to wind some balls, and to make at least 2 more washcloths. This is what I have in my pack. I still have the 4 brand new balls. And then I'm right here with these that have been used from just those 2. So yeah, I'm making waves. I'm getting it done, and I'm proud. Okay. Trying to get everything put away real neatly here. Okay, so You know, someone wants to know, how is the top coming along? The top is still beautiful. This is the top. We've added 3 more rows to the bottom. And we kind of stopped there because we wanted to be in preparation for today. I am going to work on it today. I think out of my cream, I can get 1 more round at the bottom. And then from there, we will be easing into the lilac. Yes, the lilac. Somewhere I have misplaced my pink. The pink that is right here. I don't know. But I would be happy to go from the lilac to the purple. I'll be happy to do that. It'll be at the bottom and it's my top. I can fix it how I wanna, fix it how I wanna, fix it how I wanna. Yes. So that is where we are there. Now, the reason these 3 were taken out is because I have such little of those. I don't know if I have enough here with the 3 of these to make an entire washcloth, but we're going to try it and see. So that's where that is, and that's why it was out. Now, part of the goal that I had going on for last week was the fact that I had to get rid of as much as those 2 totes using only my 5.0 hook. Kind of stretching from that today because I have to finish this, and this is using my 6.0 hook. So I have to get this one completed, which I'm down to 6, 7, 14 rows. I'm down to 14 rows of being done with this. And it's only 12 stitches wide, so we're practically done with that. Y'all need to close that door, please. Okay. So that's working on that surface. Pull our notes back out. So what are we sipping on today? I do not have my Folgers coffee. Today I am sipping on Great Value French Roast. And International Delight Caramel Macchiato. It's very good, but it's not my Folgers. My Folgers Black Silk is, oh my goodness. And my Folgers 1850 Black Gold is, oh my God. Yes, they are all of that. And a bowl of ice cream with peanuts. Tell me you don't like ice cream with peanuts. And then I'm chasing everything today with water. Why, you say? Because we should do that. And I haven't been drinking enough water for the past 2 days. So you see, I will tell on me. I will. Now for the mile a minute, these are what I pull for the next ones, which of course right now I am using the classic blue and the peach. I don't think it says peach, it says sherbet. So that's what I'm using right now. This of course is pink and this of course is yellow. But I don't know. I know each strip is 5 feet long. And I'm thinking about I haven't even measured them across. I just know that they're 12 stitches across and they work up kind of quickly. Um, I'm using all of the little balls that I got tons of these. I found some and I'm like, yes. And the mission is to get rid of the existing yarn. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to work this out and get those worked up and find a space. I'm thinking about making bags as I go, and I can just shove them in the bag until they get ready. Yeah, okay. Did I put it in here? Nope. So, what is everybody working on today? How has your week been? Let me know in the comments how your week has been. And while you're telling me about that, I'll tell you what's going on with me medically. Hasn't really been all bad. It hasn't been great, but it hasn't been bad. I think I've told you all that I had an ingrown toenail, and I was in communication with my doctor, and she had given me this idea of packing it, which that was working until I dropped a case of water on my foot. That was it. That was it. I was, why you, I need you to hydrate. I need you to hydrate, Joe. But my my doctor wanted me to see the in-house podiatrist. She and I really didn't have a good rapport the first time we met. And my doctor knows how I can be. I let me see if I can put it like my doctor puts it. She says, you're not difficult. However, you are hard to understand because you're not um she says I'm super intelligent, but she puts it another way. I don't like to say how she said you're not dumb by any means. Bonnie! My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. He brought back my Bonnie to me. Yay! So happy to see you. But yeah, my doctor says, she said, you can be a tough pill to swallow because you're not dumb. And I'm like, a lot of people aren't. She said, but a lot of people are afraid to speak up when it comes to a doctor. They feel like the doctor knows what they're doing and they just kind of follow what the doctor says. And it's always been my philosophy that I know me better than anybody else knows me. The only other person who could come close to knowing me as well is my mother. And she didn't know me that well. My daughter is finding out new things about me every day. And it's not that surface person that they thought I was. My family, thought really bad of me for many, many years because I marched to my own beat. I'm very not going to follow you. I'm a very not going to follow you type of person. And my family has always been one to follow in the footsteps. If I tell you to march right, you're going to march right. Well, if I see that there are a lot of potholes with me going right, then I'm going to navigate my own way to stay out of those potholes. It's not to necessarily defy what you're saying, it's to not get hurt, to avoid injury, to show you that we can arrive at the same destination, but we don't have to walk the same path. Maybe you need to trip and fall in some of those potholes. I don't. It's a lot of me to fall down, and too many falls are going to eventually lead to some breaks. So let me try my path. And when we end up at the same spot together, you're right. And that's it, Pebbles. Let's work together as a team. If I work more like a drone and I can see all of this ahead of time, let me navigate you. You know, if you don't want to walk my path, let me show you another way to get around these potholes so that you don't have to step in them either. You know, and when I first moved into this apartment over here to this side, because it's a whole new city, then the doctors over here were kind of intimidated, you know, because I go in and I tell them, you know, my ultimate goal is to get off of all this man-made medication. I think, you know, way back in the day, we made it on ugh, spider webs and snuff spit 'em. You know, so even though they sound gross to me or whatever, they worked when I was a child. I've had to have those remedies. You know, we had the red mercurochrome and the iodine and the, you know, all of those, the witch hazel and all of that stuff. We had all of that, and we've gotten away from that and gotten into these expensive pills that are mostly placebos most of the time. Placebos mean that they give you a false sense of. They're not real, but you're paying $600 and $700 for a pill that is only working on your psyche. And in the meantime, those in the medical field, their pockets are getting fatter because pharma says if you get these many prescriptions out, we'll give you a nice little kickback. And then you have some people that say, no, it doesn't work like that. I have doctors in my family who have proven it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got to call it what it is. I have doctors. I have a family, and I'm being completely honest. I have a family member that has all kinds of degrees, doctrines, even a pastor who just got out of prison for doing the same thing, selling people a dream, and we fall for it. So, do me and that family member get along? No. That's one of the ones that stay far away from me when they see me coming. But all I'm saying is, we know ourselves better than anybody else. And when it comes to us going to the doctors, we need to speak up. We need to speak out. You know, if you feel like you're fighting back, if you feel like they're fighting you back, you have to let them know that you have to do what's best for you. You may have been with this doctor for years, but if they're no longer talking your language, you need to find someone who is. You need to find someone who's going to help you ultimately. But on the other hand, we're living longer than they used to. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. My great grandmother, Ida B. Ross, lived to be 118. She passed away in 80. So I came to Virginia in 84. She passed away in 85. And that was her documented age. We believe she was older. She was forced to get a birth certificate when she was 12, that she thought she was, and her birth certificate said she was 9. So we believe she was older. We just don't know for sure exactly where she was. But according to her birth certificate, she was 118. And during that time, um, you had like my grandparents even who passed away at 64, both of them. That for the well, I'm ready to tell you the difference. My grandmother and grandfather listened to every word their doctor said. My grandmother's doctor was Dr. Baylor, and she listened to every single word he said. Every medication he gave, she took it. My grandfather was the same way with his doctor. Grandma Ida, on the other hand, grew collard greens, sweet potatoes, all kinds of beans and peas and tomatoes and peppers. She grew all of that in her backyard. She went to the meat market and got her meat. She cooked herself. She walked anywhere in town she wanted to go until I saw her walking down the street, and I'd be like, "No, Grandma, I'll take you." That was a walking lady. But she did for herself. She went to the doctor like she was supposed to. They were amazed when they saw her. She did not fall for the hoopla. Many times, doctors tried to put her on medications. They told her she had high blood pressure. She said, okay. Then she found her herbologist who had natural fruits. They were selling on a fruit stand. They had their own fruits. And she would buy grapefruits from them and started squeezing her own grapefruits, drinking 2 to 4 ounces of grapefruit juice a day. Never had a problem with her blood pressure again. Now, where I can say or attest that that's true is drink beer every day. I told my girlfriend we were 70. Okay. My girlfriend's mother is 88. She's in good shape, but she smokes pot and drinks beer every day. I told my girlfriend we're going to do that. Hey. One of my babysitters, bless her heart, she believed in drinking a beer a day, and she lived to be 92, I believe. so, so hey, it might maybe something in that. But back in December, my birthday actually, December 2nd, I stopped taking my blood pressure medicine. I told my doctor that I was going to stop and why I was going to stop. And I go to my doctor. I'm what they call on the gold list. I go in every 2 weeks. So she's checking my blood pressure, And the whole time she's got the little furry brow thing going on. And she's like, your blood pressure's good. Did you go back to taking your medicine? No. I drink 4 ounces of grapefruit juice a day. Even when I'm stressed and it's up a little, it's nowhere near what it used to be. And we know that when you go into the doctor for a specific reason or you're in pain or whatever, your blood pressure is going to go up. That's natural. That's a part of life. That's the part of life. And when I first got put on blood pressure medicine, I had a doctor who was telling me every time I went into her office, you got this going on, you got that going on. This is wrong and that is wrong. And it got to the point that every time I went to her office, I was asking myself, what next? Joan, get you some, hold on. Pete, hold on, I got you. Pete, come here, please. Do me a favor. Please look in the water cabinet and give me that brown bottle on the bottom shelf. Mm-hmm. No. Almost. Close the cabinet. Thank you. This is agave in the raw. It's sugar. It's sweet. By itself, it doesn't taste that yummy. It's like just taking a spoonful of sugar and it really it has like a weird flavor to it. But if you don't like grapefruit juice, I do the pink grapefruit juice. It's sugar. It's just raw sugar. It's like sweetened honey. It's yeah, it's agave. I don't know where my daughter gets it from, but it's 100% pure agave. Ingredients: organic agave. That's it. Okay, but it's very sweet. It is very, very, very sweet. Yes, yes. That's like, okay, speaking of molasses, I can. I will do that. I'll take a picture of it and send you the bottle. Um, Molasses, I can't stand molasses by itself, but on bread, on biscuits, I love molasses and biscuits. I absolutely, but by itself, tell me to clean the rest of it off my plate without some bread. No. It's the same way with this. I can't do this by itself. But if we're out of creamer for my coffee, and one of the coffees that I got from Great Value is the espresso. Y'all, let me tell you about the espresso. So when y'all see me next Saturday, you're gonna know what's wrong with me. That espresso does what it's supposed to do. I'm telling you. Hold on. Let's see what this says. It says, my client and I were talking about sugar in the raw yesterday. I said, but I don't like molasses. I thought it would taste like molasses because all granulated sugar is what they take the molasses out. Okay, molasses has this, okay, Karo syrup. Have you ever tried the Karo syrup, the dark Karo syrup? There's like a tree barkish flavor or aftertaste to it, to me, and I don't like it. It's stronger. Hi, Lori. It's stronger than just molasses. The dark Karo syrup, that taste lingers. I don't like that one at all. I don't want it on my pancakes. I don't want it on my biscuits. I don't, no. But this is not as strong. This is like, it's not as thick as raw honey, but it's a little more potent. Yep, it's a little more potent. I can put a teaspoon of this in a 10-ounce cup of espresso and have really, really sweet coffee. It doesn't take much of this at all. I think my daughter's probably had this bottle like 2 months, and she overuses all kinds of sauces and stuff. 2 months, guys. 2 months. And this is all that's gone. So it doesn't last long. It doesn't have the same caloric effects as granulated sugar or regular store-bought honey. Now, I have not compared the specs on raw honey. No problem. No problem. Yeah, I haven't compared. It says 60 calories for 1 tablespoon. The serving size is 1 tablespoon. And like I said, I used a teaspoon. This is organic agave in the raw. It's what my daughter uses for sugar. We don't use it for sugar like their Kool-Aid and stuff. When we do that, we do the other sugar. This is a little bit too expensive to be throwing in. Can you imagine? No. But this is all my daughter uses for her coffee. She has stopped using creamer. She does the natural taste of the coffee, and this is her sugar. I have pulled back on my creamer a lot. Um, yes, bitterroot is. What else is good for swelling? Aloe is good for swelling. Sassafras is good for swelling. Um, ginger, excuse me, ginger is good for swelling. Um, I will not eat, but I will use avocado. Avocado is the nastiest thing I've ever tasted in my life. It is. And I don't want avocado. I don't want guacamole. But my daughter ground up an avocado pit. She grated it and blended it with the 91% alcohol that we use. Y'all, sometimes I get around here and the first thing in the morning, I feel like I can't take that first step. I will come in here and get that spray bottle. And some together in here in a purple spray bottle somewhere and get to spraying that on my joints. Oh my goodness. And I'm glad you like avocado. I'm glad you like avocado. And Bonnie, I'm glad you love avocado. Is it Bonnie or Pebbles that loves avocado? Bonnie, I'm glad you all love and like avocados. I don't. I don't. Mm-mm. I don't. I'm not going to tell y'all what it tastes like to me because it's actually gross. So we're just going to say that I don't like avocados. I don't like asparagus. I don't like, this one's weird. I don't like the texture of mushrooms, but I like the flavor. Yeah, I don't like the texture. I don't like that. I don't like gummy worms. I don't like gummy candy. I don't. Blah, 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 blah. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. My one of my bosses, we were pulling gag jokes on each other, and knowing that I was afraid of spiders, at first she thought but Bonnie, I don't mind being weird. I don't mind being weird at all. I love being weird. That means I'm unique. And then the more Lori and I talk, we find out that we are twins and stitches. So, yeah, but I just and I used to say that I was not a texture eater because I would hear a lot of people say that they don't like bananas because of the texture. The texture of bananas never bothered me. It's more solid than a mushroom to me. Granted, once you chew it, it's not, but if I were to chew a mushroom and it became the way it was when it first goes into, no, mm-mm, mm-mm. But then again, to add to my weirdness, two of my favorite um, vegetables are spinach and Brussels sprouts. And I know plenty of people who cannot stand Brussels sprouts. They're like, Brussels, what? Are you kidding me? I love Brussels sprouts. Roasted Brussels sprouts. Oh my goodness. Take you some roasted sprouts. Pan sear you some tuna fish with onions, peppers, tomatoes, a little bit of garlic. Get you some rice, some old fashioned cooked rice. No gravy, no nothing. You can eat it dry. Trust me, it's not going to hurt you. I'm a girl who loves butter in my rice, but don't even do that. I love gravy on my rice, but don't even do that. But if you spread that meat concoction over that rice and eat it with Brussels sprouts, now I like zucchini. I like all the squashes actually. Yeah, I like those, but I can't stand that one that's got the snot in the middle of it. People like that fried and in a lot of stews and stuff. I don't want okra. hmm Roasted Brussels sprouts. Now, granted, that is the only way I will eat them. I don't think they're bad other ways, and they look real pretty. I mean, I call them baby cabbages. Spaghetti squash is cool too. But I think they make really cute little cabbages, and they're really cute for decorating your plate. But if they're not roasted, I don't want them. hmm I like making stuffed chicken breast, and that's just basically cooking everything on the side. Um, I do use tomato sauce to pull it all together. And then after baking my chicken breast for like 15 minutes, then I take it and split it open and stuff it with the vegetables and the rice with that saturated with the tomato sauce. And then cover it lightly with the tomato sauce. Sprinkle you some mozzarella or Parmesan cheese on top. Just a little. Yeah. We have gone from, oh, so the one thing that I did not tell you all about today is the weight. The weight is down 1 pound. I am down to an even 329. So I'm doing good. Bonnie, when I grew up, it was just me and my mom worked a lot. And being an only child and being a spoiled only child, it didn't take long for me to grow bored of things, and that included um, things that I ate. So I would experiment a lot. That's just like I learned once I had my kids. We used to do a lot of cookouts. So I learned on my own how to make ranch burgers. I never knew, I had never even heard of a ranch burger. And we received a food box and it had the dried ranch dressing in it. And I didn't want to throw it away. And I didn't know anybody that I could pass it along to. Hey, sis, how are you? So I took it and I put it in my hamburger mixture and made the big juicy patties that I made for the grill. And they went over really big. At the same time, yes, Bonnie, I'm going back to the chicken. I had strawberry daiquiri mix in my refrigerator, non alcoholic strawberry daiquiri mix. I wondered what it would taste like to marinate my chicken breast in the strawberry daiquiri mix. And I did that. I marinated it for 4 hours. And then I took it out. I didn't put any other type of seasoning on it, none at all. And I put an extra layer of aluminum foil on my grill. And I grilled those chicken breasts. And I didn't even get one. I didn't even get one until the next time I grilled and I made it known. The first two that come off the grill are mine. Yeah, my kids, but like I told you, I raised 35 kids. So it was first come, first serve whenever anything came off the stove, out of the stove, off the grill. And yeah, the other thing I learned was whenever I fry my meats, I put a hint of cinnamon on my in my batter. Just a little that's it. You can't taste the cinnamon, but it's just enough to give it like a little extra oomph as far as crispiness is concerned. And as far as taste, it blends with those other flavors so good. And I mean, not a quarter of a dash, not just a smidgen. That's all it takes. And I accidentally learned that with shrimp that I was frying. And the shrimp got gone, like the strawberry daiquiri chicken got gone, and I found out who the culprit was. It was my son named Barry. Yeah, I had cooked 2 pounds of shrimp. And I fried those shrimp. Oh my goodness. And we had homemade potato salad and green beans. And when I went in the kitchen, because I always tried to make sure the kids ate first. And when I went in the kitchen to get my shrimp and my potato salad and my green beans, the only thing we had left was green beans. Y'all, I was frustrated. I was real frustrated. They make glazes for chickens like that. Replacement for the bougie stuff. Well, it's I don't know what. Just I hope y'all didn't go anywhere. Y'all didn't go anywhere, did you? Good. Please tell me y'all didn't leave. Can you all see me? Okay. I couldn't see me. I'm sitting here looking, and everything just went different. But at least now I can see all the comments. Oh, I see what I did. No. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing with it because I don't want to mess anything up. Okay. You guys, we can sit here and talk all day, and I am loving this. I am loving it. I am loving it. I am loving it. But we've gone over an hour. I love you all. I really, really do. And today has been so much fun. Before I leave, because I showed Joan this morning when we talked. This is my book, y'all. This is my novel. I am currently working on um, the sequel. The name of it is Jordan's River, and the author is me. That is my legal name. If you want to know what the TL stands for, it's Teresa Lane. So the Lane didn't come by accident. It's my first name and my second middle name. But it is retrievable at Amazon. One day I'm going to consistently learn how to put stuff where it's supposed to be. Meaning leaving information in the description box. But I'm going to get real good at that one day, y'all. I'm going to talk about my book one day. And thank you. Let me tell y'all about my name real quick. My name is Catherine Teresa Lane Hodges. I was born December 2nd, 1963 in Richmond, Virginia. In November of 63, I think it was November 20, well, it was the day that President Kennedy met his demise. My mother was at a football game and she went into labor. My mother was Catholic, and the closest Catholic hospital was West Hospital, which was a Catholic hospital. It was actually a school for nurses. So everything, I am the epitome of Murphy's Law. On November 29th, my twin sister was born. An uneventful birth, and her name was Catherine Teresa Lane Hodges II. I know, hold tight. She's named directly after my grandmother. Okay. The doctor warned my mother that the second baby would not, twins, yes, that the second baby would not survive. So to go ahead and prepare herself that, would not be a successful birth. So 2 days later, Mama's still pregnant with this second twin, and the first twin passes. So she's mentally prepared to go home with no child. And they decided on December 1st, that first thing in the morning on December 2nd, they were going to perform a cesarean. Mind you, Catholic. They didn't believe in cesareans, but it was to save the life of the mother. So that's what they did. And The second child came out screaming, came out butt first, but screaming. And the doctor was taken aback. He was like, I don't know. It's not, it is, but it isn't sad. Um, because to me, it shows that I think that's part of the reason I'm like I am with doctors. You know, they can't make that call. You know, according to the doctors, my sister should have lived and I shouldn't have. But what happened was my sister didn't make it and I did. And I was the second of twins to be named Catherine Teresa Lane Hodges II on the 2nd of December. So ask me what my favorite number is. Two, of course. But yeah. And I've been an advocate for advocacy ever since I've been here. My mom would have negative thinking going on. I'd be like, no, 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 we can't do that. I have my moments. I have my moments. And I thank God that He has put people in my life that are in my life. I got a phone call this morning. You know, look, you didn't answer the last call and I have not heard from you. So I need to know, you know, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. I think that um, we're gifted those things. Lots of times we don't recognize it or realize it. And I am grateful that He has given me the ability to recognize and realize, and, you know, given me the um, presence of mind to be there for them as well. So I am not going to hold. Oh, yeah. I wanted to tell you real quick. Catherine. Catherine is my name. My mother told me when I was a little girl, you can spell your name XYZ and pronounce it any way you want to. My name is Catherine. 90% of people who say my name say Catherine. My mother did not name me Catherine. My mother named me Catherine. Cathe. Reen, E at the end. The two E's make a difference. You can spell Catherine without either E, and it's Catherine. But once you put those E's in, it becomes different. It does for me anyway. My name is Catherine, Catherine. Because so many people refuse to say it the right way, call me Kitty. You can't mess that up. You can't mess that up. And I picked the simplest of the middle names because a lot of people tell me that my name is not Teresa because it doesn't have an H. We're not going to argue about that either. You can't call Lane anything but Lane, so call me Kitty Lane. So that is how you get me. So, guys, with that being said, I want to remind all of you to always be bold, be brave, be beautiful, and behave. Know that I love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. And that is so, 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 so true. So until we see each other again on these YouTube streets, peace out, everybody.